So today I'll just be doing 5 more example solves with the Roux method. As always, these scrambles are in the description, and I encourage you do them on your cube and follow along. So this is the first one. The block I would do here is green with white on bottom. So we can see we already have this pair right here. The center is in the back, and the edge that corresponds with this pair right here is actually right there. So it's just a 2-move square. I would just do R to pair this up with the center, and then U wide prime. But before I do that, I notice that this pair is solved for the second block. So I want to preserve that while inserting this. So I would do RF U wide prime. And what that would do is bring it up here. So I'll do that now, but before I want to find the last 2 pieces for the first block. So that would be this one and this one. It's going to go here, this edge in this corner. This is going to go here, and then here. So then I'd solve it with U prime, and then this would be down here, so RU prime F2. So I'll show you how that's going to work. So I'd start gripping it like this. RF U wide prime solves that there. And then this with this, I would, oh, that was sort of stupid preserving this pair. Let's see if I can do anything with it. Oh, I sort of can. Okay, there you go. Bring it down like that, and then this with the wide moves, keeps the pair in the back, and then we'll insert this second block while preserving the pair, and then the other one built by itself, so we'll just do that one, this CMLL, and cancel start with an R wide prime, blue and green, or other way around, M prime U2M, put them on the bottom, and then M2, that's orange, so I know it's M prime. So for the second scramble, we're doing the red block with white on bottom. Similar to last time, we have another block like this. The center is in the back, and this edge is right here. So what I'd do is actually I'd make a line, so I'd do that to make the line using this corner, and that brings this over here because it's RU prime, and I do U2 R U wide 2. No, U2 R wide 2. That brings the center here, and then U wide, and then all that does to this is brings it up here and then here. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to break this pair, so that's not that good, but it's a pretty fast block. So now I'll solve it. R U prime B makes the line. U2 R wide 2 brings that over here. U, this was just where we saw it. And then I see these two, break them up while inserting that, pair them up with an M move, and I see my last pair is inserted but flipped. So I take it out like that, regrip, pair it up with N moves, keep the centers oriented, and then I see I have this pie case with backslash, and I have an arrow, so I want to preserve that, so I'll do the alg that preserves. Just like that. Arrow, orange and red. I can see I have a cycle case again. So U prime, and since it's blue, I have to switch like that, M2. The third scramble, we also have another one of these pairs, which is very lucky. It's 3 times in a row. But I don't like this block very much because it uses a lot of M and U wide moves, and then the second pair ends up in a bad spot, so I'm not going to do that one. Instead, the one I'm going to do is the red with yellow bottom. So we have this pair right here, which is R wide F prime, and that's a 2-move square, and that brings this right here, and that's an easy pair up with this. So I'll do that, and then actually what would happen to this is it would go down here and then solve right there, so it would be an R move away from being solved. So if I go like that, and then, or maybe I was wrong. That's why you gotta look ahead during first block in case you mess up an inspection. So now I see this pair. I can't find the blue-orange edge. It's either back here at the bottom. So I'll just go ahead and solve that first. So I'd go M2, U to put that there. And then while I put it down, I can pair them. And now I can see that while I'm inserting this that the other two are down here. Just 2gen, orient centers. This case, the H case with these two matching, the usual alg I use preserves edge orientation, but what I can do is flip all four to get the arrow, just like that. And then I was tracking the red and orange, and they ended up here, so I can actually do LR edges at the same time, and then UM prime, U2M prime. It's the end of the solve. So you can see how choosing the other CMLL algorithm instead significantly made my LSE faster, so that's something you should definitely work on. For this fourth scramble, there's not a lot of good stuff that I can see. This red pair is solved, but then this edge that goes with it is right beside it, so that's immediately telling you don't do this block. Also, we have something that looks like a nice yellow cross because all these edges are inserted, but looking at each block individually, there's really nothing spectacular. So I think what I'd do in a solve is just this blue-white one right here, because this is already inserted, and that's what I'd see first. So we have this pair, so I would do R wide prime to bring this down, U2 to put that there, R2F. That would bring this edge down here with blue bottom, this corner would go here, white top, RU prime B would finish the block, and then this edge, the DR edge, would just end up right here, and it would need to be flipped. So let's go do that. R wide prime, U2, R2F makes that block, RU prime. And then here, I should have thought about this before, but something I've started doing is influencing second block right here. So I can actually bring this to the top, so I don't need to flip it later if I do this with R wide moves instead of R moves. So while I solved that block, I brought this to the top. So then I would have seen these two right here, M prime U, pair them up in the back like that. And then the last pair is just this with this. So orient that, and then that's a nice fast insert. This case. And then green's there. The blue isn't here, here, or here, or here. So it's in the back. So orient edges. And I see I have vertical line and matching. So I'm going to get skip. So for the fifth and final scramble, I would do green with white on bottom. What we have is this piece, this edge with this corner, and this one move pair that can be paired up like that. So what I would do is, holding it from this angle, I would do F to insert that, and then R would pair those up, and then I could bring this down here and make a bar. So I'll show you that in a second. First, I'll track this. So F prime, R, U prime. Here, I'll just show you how I track it. So F prime, R, U prime, R wide prime, U prime, R prime, D prime, and then R wide prime, B prime, so it'll be right here. So I'll go ahead and solve the block. So F prime, R, U prime, R wide prime, and that brings this here. U prime, R prime, D prime solves that. U, R wide, B prime. And I actually forgot where I said this was going to go. I think I got it wrong, but that's okay. I would have been looking at it anyway, and I would have seen this pretty early on. So I'd drop that down there while inserting that edge, pair them up like this. I see this pair right here, insert them in the back, U prime M2, U2, wide insert in the front. From here I know which case it's going to be. It's this one right here. So you should do some 2x2 practice, maybe practice one looking if you want to get faster at recognizing CMLL, and then orient these edges. Green and blue on the bottom, and I can see I'm going to cancel